Today we are going to discuss about the very small aperture terminal station. It's nothing but VSAT. So this VSAT stands for Very Small Aperture Terminal Station. That is, this VSAT, as the name suggests, it is a very small. It has very small antennas. That is, VSAT is a small satellite earth station that transmit and receive data via satellite, and this data can be anything like audio and video data. So this VSAT stands for Very Small Aperture Terminal Station with very small antennas. And this VSAT system operates in Ku band with earth station antenna of diameter of 1 meter to 2 meter, and the transmitter power is of 1 to 2 watt. So the earth stations are generally or usually organized in a star network. We have two types of network. One is star network and another is mesh network. So the earth station, that is VSAT earth station, usually are organized in star network, in which the earth station connect to the earth station hub or central hub station via geo satellite. You can see this picture. Here the satellite gateway is nothing but this hub, and this VSAT and WLL terminal we can see here. This wireless local loop is WLL. So this VSAT and this wireless local loop terminal communicate to the hub, that is the satellite gateway, through the satellite. Here we can see the satellite. So the earth station, which are usually organized in a star or mesh network, is placed in the in which the earth station connect to the central hub via geo satellite. So you connect to the central hub via geo satellite. So the satellite shown in the figure is nothing but geo satellite. So the earth station, that is the VSAT, communicate to the satellite, that is geo satellite. Here the VSAT system aims to bring the telecommunication services directly to the end users without any intermediate distributor hierarchy. Here it means that there is no additional technology required to operate it. There is no need of additional technology to operate it. So VSAT system, the aim of this VSAT system is to bring the telecommunication services directly to the end users without any intermediate distribution hierarchy. There is no intermediate technology needed to operate this VSAT system. The VSAT, as we can see, the VSAT system is directly transmitting the messages through the farm, wireless public payphone and village, etc. There is no technology need to operate this VSAT system, or there is no intermediate distribution hierarchy in VSAT. So this VSAT network take the advantages of wide area broadcast capability of geo satellite. So this VSAT system, what it do is it is taking the advantages of satellite, or that is geo satellite, of wide area broadcasting capability. So this geo satellite have wide area of broadcasting capability. So this advantages is taken by this VSAT system. So this is one of the advantages of VSAT system. The user access the satellite in a demand assigned multiple access channel mode, or the user, and whenever a message is sent, and a receiver a short reply in short time. That is, whenever a message is sent and receives a short reply in short time, the user access the satellite in demand, that is DAMA, demand assigned multiple access mode. Here we can see a schematic of VSAT WLL communication network. Here we can see the satellite gateway, which is nothing but our control station hub, and we have a VSAT here, and from the VSAT there's a direct communication between farm, wireless payphone and villages, etc. So this VSAT architecture can be defined as network architecture, and there are three basic implementation of any telecommunication services. First one is our one-way telecommunication, and next is the two-way, further divided into star and mesh, and the third one is split or two-way. The one-way implementation. This mode is used in broadcast satellite services like TV broadcasting satellites. And in this configuration, there is a master station and a narrow banding group with a large broadcasting area of satellite. Here we have a master station and a narrow banding groups, which is with a large broadcasting area of the satellite. This master station is nothing but our hub and a large area of broadcasting network of the satellite. And in this one-way broadcast system, there is only transmission and there is no reception. By the use of proper software in the user terminal, different part of the downlink can be accessed by different subscriber. So by using proper software in the user terminal, that is in the user side, by using proper software, different part of the downlink can be accessed. So different part of the downlink which is sent by the satellite can be accessed by different subscribers. So there is only transmission in this one-way implementation and there is no reception. That is satellite ഒരു ടിവിയിലേക്ക് സിഗ്നൽ സെൻഡ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല സാറ്റലൈറ്റിലേക്ക്. ഓൺലി വൺ ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് റിസപ്ഷൻ ഇസ് that is from satellite to TV and not from TV to satellite. That is a proper is from satellite to user, or subscriber can use this downlink. So here we can see the one-way implementation, and in this mode is used in broadcast satellite services or in TV broadcast system. And this form of channel selection is called as narrowcasting. So one-way implementation is also known as narrowcasting. Now we are going to the figure shows the one-way satellite configuration. Here we can see a master station and a broadcasting coverage area. So here we have a master station which is nothing but a hub, and from the hub we have the signal is given to the satellite, and from the satellite through a downlink it is given to the VSAT, that is a very small aperture earth station. From the earth station the signal is given to the receiver or end users. And the advantage of this approach is that VSAT terminal does not require a transmit capability. This reduces its cost and complexity. So it does not require any transmit capability. So as it does not require any transmit capability, it reduces its cost and complexity. Now we are going to the second type. That is two-way implementation. Here in two-way implementation, in this scheme, a return link is designed so that two-way communication can be set up over the same satellite. That is from hub to users and from the user back to hub. So here, in this two-way implementation, a return link is in two-way implementation, there is a return link designed so that there is a two-way communication that can be set up over the same satellite, that is from hub to users and from users back to hub. The architecture can be star or mesh. The two-way implementation architecture can be designed in star or mesh. The first figure shows the two-way VSAT configuration with the star topology, and second figure shows the two-way VSAT configuration with a mesh topology. So here we can see that there is a return link that is designed so that two-way communications can be set up from hub to user, that is from hub to users and from users to hub. That is, we can see a double-sided arrow that is from hub to users through the satellite from the satellite from the users back to the hub. Now we are going to the split two-way or split IP implementation. This implementation is used when there is no normal return channel. In split, there is no normal return channel. That is, the return link is not through the satellite. It is directly by the user, direct TV. For example, the system carry internet traffic. If the BSS downlink is used as download channel from internet service provider, the only option the user has for a return link is via another telecommunication. So in this split two-way communication or split two-way implementation, the return link is not through the satellite. It is directly by the from the user, that is direct TV. Here we can see that this is the satellite television distribution, and this is the KU band satellite, and here, as we have said, this implementation, there is no normal return channel. No normal return channel in the sense that return link is not through the satellite. It is directly by the user. Return link is directly by the user. We can see a return link directly by the user. It is not through the satellite. That is, return link satellite through send another. It is directly by the users. So this is about the split two-way implementation, and the advantage is that the VSAT terminal does not require a transmit capability, and this reduces the cost and complexity. The transmit capability illa, so it reduces the cost and complexity. And the disadvantage is that telephone line connection must usually be through a modem with a bitrate generally restricted to 56 kilobits per second or less. And the main thing why we reduce the size of the antenna is that, as we know the relation of antenna height and frequency, so it's equation lambda is equal to C by F. Here C is the velocity, F is the frequency. So for minimum height of an antenna can be defined as lambda by 4. So as the antenna height is reduced, lambda value reduces, frequency increases. That is, lambda is inversely proportional to frequency. So as lambda value reduces, frequency increases. So as frequency increases, transmitted power also increases. So Earth station send in a signal transmitted power and the frequency we reduce the size of the antenna. So a very small aperture Earth station, the antenna size is reduced. This is the main thing we have to understand. Why we are reducing the antenna is to increase the transmitted power and is to increase the frequency. So we have this VSAT here. VSAT VSAT is nothing but very small aperture terminal station. In this VSAT, we have a system that operates in KU band with the antenna diameter. It's very small antenna diameter of 1 to 2 meter. This antenna height is reduced to increase the frequency and transmitted power. And the Earth stations are generally or usually organized in star network. That is two-way implementation. We have two types of network. One is star network and mesh network. So Earth stations are usually organized in star network, in which the Earth station can connect to a central hub. This is a controlling hub station via a geo satellite. Here we have a geo satellite. This geo satellite have advantages of wide area broadcasting capability. So this VSAT also takes the advantages of wide area broadcast capability of the geo satellite. And going on to the schematic of VSAT, we have a satellite gateway which is nothing but our hub, and we have a satellite over here which a downlink is given to a VSAT, which is the Earth station with a small antenna. From the VSAT, it's directly given to the users, and there is a communication between user and VSAT. And here now we are discussing the network architecture. There are basically three types of network architecture in telecommunication service. That is one way. Here there is only transmission and there is no reception, and it is usually in the television broadcasting satellite or system. And next is a two-way, and further divided into star and mesh. In two-way, we have an uplink and downlink and through the satellite. And fourth one is the split way. In split way, the return link is not through the satellite, it is directly by the user. Here we have three architecture. First one is one way. There is only transmission and there is no reception. And next is two way, and two way is further divided into star and mesh. And two way we have uplink and downlink through the satellite. And split two way is the one in which the return link is not through the satellite. It is directly by the user. That is the direct TV. This is about the VSAT. Now we are going to the next application of this satellite, that is DTH, or Direct to Home System, or DTH system, or Direct to Home Satellite System, or DTH Satellite System. This Direct to Home System is a service which is served from DBS, that is Direct Broadcast Satellite Survey. The service on this DTH system, and it is also called as Direct Broadcast Satellite, that is DBS. The TV signal in DBS is directly received from satellite. That is, DBS TV signals is received from the satellite, and it is used for individual or community reception. This TV signal is used for either individual or community reception. Usually KU band are used in DTH. That is, KU band, it consists of downlink of 12 GHz frequency and uplink frequency of 14.8 GHz. So KU band frequency or the KU band are used for this purpose, which have a downlink frequency of 12 GHz and uplink frequency of 14.8 GHz. And there is no need of cable operation or broadcaster here, and is directly in touch with the consumer. Here, there is no need of cable operation. There is no need of cable and wire operation here, and no need of broadcaster here, and it is directly in touch with the consumer. Here we can see we have a channel owner. That is our channel like HNet, ZTV, Aajtak, any news channel, etc. So the channel owner, what it do is it broadcast or it sends its product to the DBS service provider. That is, it sends its channel to the broadcast center. That's the DBS is the broadcast center. This DBS servicer provide or broadcast its channel to the satellite, and from the satellite we directly get the channel or the TV signal to the parabolic reflector, or also known as dish TV or dish, which we install in our home. So here we have, there is no need of cable operation and there is no need of broadcaster, and it is directly in touch with the, or the TV signals are directly in touch with the consumer through the satellite. Users are receiving the TV signal or the channel by personal dish in home. That we can see in here figure. In this figure, there is a parabolic reflector or a dish installed at the top of the house. So these users are receiving the TV signal or channel by the personal dish in home, which is nothing but a dish is nothing but a parabolic reflector. So the DTH services providers in India are usually Airtel, Tata Sky, Videocon, Sun Direct, Dish TV, etc. These are the DTH services providers in India. Now we can see the direct to home DTH services. Like example, we have already discussed. We have a channel owner which sends its signal or channel to the DBS provider, service provider. From the DBS service provider, it broadcasts the channel to the satellite. From the satellite, we get the TV signal or the channel through the parabolic reflector installed in our home. This is the block diagram of a DTH. Here we have a receiving antenna, it's a parabolic reflector. From the receiving antenna, the received signal is given to a low noise amplifier, LNA, and the output of the low noise amplifier is given to a converter. And the converter have now two input, that is low noise amplifier input and then the input from local oscillator, and it is given to our RF amplifier. This part is known as outside unit. This LNA converter, this parabolic reflector altogether is known as outside unit. So outside unit consists of a parabolic satellite antenna. The received signal is provided to the low noise amplifier. LNA output is given to the converter. The second input to the converter is from the local oscillator 1. Here we can see a local oscillator named as 1. And the converter output consists of, now we are going to the second unit, that is the inside unit. So the inside unit consists of RF amplifier, mixer, local oscillator 2, IF stage, FM demodulator, audio and video demodulator, and TV set. So here the inside unit we have discussed. The converter output, it consists of very high frequency having a frequency range from 450 megahertz to 1450 megahertz, and that is converter output. It's very high frequency signal. So this is given to the RF amplifier. So now we will discuss the inside unit. The first block in inside unit is the RF amplifier. So the output of the RF amplifier is applied to the channel selector to select the desired channel with the help of mixer and local oscillator. Here we can see a mixer and local oscillator, and this is used for channel selection to select the desired channel. And the IF frequency is 70 megahertz, which is a lower frequency is required. And this is the selected channel is given to the IF stage. Here IF frequency, that is intermediate frequency of 70 megahertz, which is a lower frequency, is reduced. That is required frequency is reduced. That is 70 megahertz. This is then applied to a FM demodulator. Here we can see this IF stage output is given to an FM demodulator, and the FM demodulator is frequency modulated or frequency demodulated. And here the output of the FM demodulator is given to audio and video demodulator. Here the audio and video signals get separated. That is, in audio and video demodulator, the audio and video signal gets separated, and finally it is given to the TV set. So this is the DTH system. So DTH system is direct to home system, and it is served from the DBS satellite, and it's also called direct broadcast satellite, DBS. And TV signal in DBS is directly received through satellite, and it is used for either individual or community reception. Usually KU bands are used for this purpose, and KU band consists of downlink and uplink. Of downlink frequency of 12 gigahertz and uplink frequency of 14.8 gigahertz, and there is no need of cable or broadcaster, and is directly in touch with the consumer. And users are receiving the TV signal or channel by the personal dish in home. This dish is also known as parabolic reflector. This is the DTH services example, and this is the block diagram. Here the block diagram is divided into two parts. One is outside unit, which consists of low noise amplifier, converter and local oscillator, and inside unit, which consists of RF amplifier, local oscillator, mixer, IF stage, FM demodulator, audio and video demodulator, and TV set. So this is the DTH system. These are the expected questions from this module. First question, the state Kepler's law. Second, write a note on GPS. Third, explain VSAT. We have to explain VSAT. We have to explain the network architecture, that is one-way, two-way, and split two-way. And okay, then we have to explain the term. Next expected question is explain the term like geocenter, apogee, perigee, line of upside, argument of perigee, etc. like that. And sixth term is compare geo and non-geo systems. And seventh question, with the necessary block diagram, explain satellite subsystem. We have basically studied 5 types of subsystem like AOCS, TTCNM, power system, antenna, satellite antenna, communication system, etc. And the ninth question is to write a note on orbital perturbation. And 10th one, explain TTCNM, that is telemetric tracking, command and monitoring subsystem. And 11th question is write a note on orbital perturbation. Now module 3, it is unit test, assignment questions. So write a note on GPS, Kepler's law, VSAT and DTH. DTH system, you have to explain the block diagram also of DTH system. And fourth question is write a note on transponder, antenna. And fifth one is write a note on geo system and non-geo system. And sixth question is satellite link design. We have to calculate the flux density equation in satellite link design or satellite budget equation. And seventh question is explain the term like geocenter, prograde, retrograde, line of upside, inclination, argument of perigee.